Tonight's episode of TWITS is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Due to some technical difficulties, this week's episode of TWITS will not feature my face except for this spot right here. You will hear my voice, and if you need more Sondo, this is the place to be.
Alright. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the week number 7 edition of TWITS. Joining me once again from the panoramic palatial estate presented by Windows 8, Mr. Mike Paddock. How are you, sir?
Howdy, doing fine. How about you?
I am doing wonderful. Just got back from a night on the gridiron with the youngest. Nice chilly October night here in Minnesota. So watching a little second grade football, so that gets me all pumped up, ready to go for TWITS here.
Nice.
Didn't turn out so well for the Centennial Cougars tonight, but they'll be back on the field at the Centennial Jamboree this weekend. Get your tickets now. So, Mike, week 7, here we go. We're approaching the midpoint of the season. Can you believe it? Let's take a look at the site deep dive, Mike. This week we're going to look at target analysis. So this is a feature that's under the premium content on your homepage. So we'll bring up the first graphic here. We'll show you how you can take a look at basically targets across the NFL. So you get a look at the top 50 or so leaders of who's targeted. And you can see there's some free agents available that are highly targeted on their respective teams.
I believe the top two would be Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson.
Sure.
Are you talking about different targets, not media?
Much different targets, yes. And then you can see, Mike, if we break it down on a team-by-team basis here, I think we're looking at the Chicago Bears, so we can see what players on all 32 NFL teams are leading the way in targets. That's a good way to maybe identify some free agents out there and who's getting involved in the passing game and who's not. So that feature is available to everyone this year under premium content. So enjoy. Mike, let's move on to the 3-pack facts. The YouTube sensation that it is, Mike. We're going to kind of combine that with what's in a number here, Mike. We're going to look at the number 8. Mike, Indianapolis won its 9th straight game Thursday night. Of those 9 consecutive wins, Mike, do you realize that 8 of them have come on the road? Interesting, huh?
That's a pretty good.
Yeah. No, you'd think that's pretty tough to do, but apparently not. So, yeah, 9 straight for the Colts, 8 of them on the road.
That tells me they're getting hosed every year on the Thursday night schedule, too.
That's right. Then 1603, Mike, is the second number we're going to look at. Joe Flacco became the fastest player to throw 5 touchdown passes in a game when he did so in 16 minutes and 3 seconds. Previously, Mike, the fastest was Big Ben back in 07. Did it in 28 minutes and 9 seconds. So,
wow.
He did a pretty good job of obliterating that record. And last, Mike, 74 is our number. Combined points from Carolina and Cincinnati that ended their 37-37 kissing your sister tie. That was the most points ever in an NFL overtime game that ended in a tie. So, looks like the Boston Patriots and Oakland Raiders tied 43-43 in 1964, but that occurred before the advent of the NFL overtime rules.
Plus it was in the AFL.
Yeah. Those went into place in 1974, so... There's your 3-pack of facts, Mike, little tidbits from the NFL that you might not have known.
I like it.
So let's break quickly into the weekly rewind. And as I take a sip from the the Coors Light in front of me, the weekly sponsor. Mike, you know we're obligated for financial reasons to have Coors Light as the Northern Tier sponsor at least 2 times a year, so I figured week 7 was a good time to break that out. We'll take a look at the first matchup in week 6, Bill 60, Wayne 58. Nip and Tuck affair, Colin Kaepernick 16 for Bill, and Aaron Rodgers 15 for Wayne. Mr. Evan Teisberg put up a 90 spot, led by Matt Forte in a 90-38 win over Tom. Yeah, indeed.
You'll drink to that.
Yeah. Greg 60, Mickey 65. Mickey gets a win with about a minute left in the fantasy week link. I believe San Francisco returned a defensive interception late in the 4th quarter of that one, which provided the difference. In the North versus South, Mike, Jeff 48, Mike 39. Both of us paced by a pair of 13s from Dan Bailey and Peyton Manning, respectively. And then Thad 49, Tim 67. Tim paced by Torrey Smith's 14 points, relating back to the aforementioned Joe Flacco.
Still got the 7 in there too, huh?
Yeah, well, we're going to get that. Thad paced by Demarius Thomas. Now, Mike, you know that Free Pack of Facts is basically taking over the YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitterverse, the everything. But, you know, people who followed TWITS from the beginning may remember a little segment called Skeptic or Believer, Mike. And so we're going to break out that theme music right now. Got a question for you. So, yes, you know, Tim scored 67 points, so he actually used for the first time this year a number other than 7 or 3 in his score. Mike, are you a skeptic or believer that by the end of the year, Tim Bosher uses all 10 digits in his scores?
I'm a believer. We got way too much time left to go. We got 10 weeks, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, I'm a believer.
All right, we'll see how that pans out. You've got 3 down, 7 to go. All right, Mike, let's take a look at what's coming up on tap, Mike.
Sondo, your spotlight matchup this week. Mickey again. Why? Because she's 6-0 with 345 points going up against Brooklyn Bill at 4-2 with 297. Mickey does lead that all-time points, 252 to 251. It's tight. And what does that mean? All-time series is tied at 2-2. Bill won the last 2 out of the 3 to make it that point. So that is your spotlight matchup. Continue on with what's on tap. Evan's Minnesota Vikings playing against me and Skippy John Jones. Evan coming in at 3-3 with 349 points, and I have the same record at 3-3 with 328. But I do lead the all-time points, 10-21 to 9-25, and the series 13-10-1, winning the last 5 matchups. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say you won the last 5 in that series.
Yes, I did. You got to keep it moving.
Cheers.
Although after he just put up 90, I haven't hit that one this year yet.
I haven't hit that if you combine all my points, I think.
And then Towns Brixton Sky at 2-4 with 284 points against Tim Cranky Pants. Shouldn't be cranky much anymore. He's 4-2 with 328. The all-time points in that series does go to Tom, though, at 1189 to 1091. And he leads that series 16-11, winning 11 of the last 16. Hey.
Who knew?
How do you like that? And then Jeff, 5 letters, P-A-N-I-C.
That's right.
At 4-2 and 284 points against Wayne's Bago, 1-5. But guess what? He has 357 points this year.
Mm-hmm.
You do lead the all-time points in that series, 1506 to 1206. That's a big gap right there. So I would think you would lead that series, which you do at 23 to 13, winning 8 of the last 10. And rounding out the week, we have Thad's Brick Walls, 2-4 with 266 points against Greg. Ain't nobody got time for that. 1-5 and 335 points. Someone can't catch a break. Thad leads at all-time points, 15-17 to Greg's 13-55, and the series 23-15, winning the last 7. And that is what's on tap, brought to you by this week the old 2-time stout from Southern Tier out of New York. It's a double milk stout. It is not too potent. It's one of those that's pretty high alcohol content, as you can tell by my slurring my words, but it's easy to drink.
Well, try not having 15 of them before TWITS, and maybe you won't be swearing. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Yeah, but the 16th one tastes pretty damn good. All right, let's take a look at a little segment we here at TWITS Incorporated like to call record setters. Mike, we had 4 records, well, really 3. But our first one is the 97 combined SFFL kicker points is good for 3rd place all time. And then Evan set the number 9 highest point total of all time with his 90. And most points against all time, and it's also number 9. That was for Tom, obviously, in that matchup.
Reciprocate.
And then Mike had a 52-point spread in that game, 90-38, was good enough to crack the top 10 in terms of largest margin of victory. So a couple records go down in week number 6. Mike, let's move on to everyone's favorite segment, Chalk Talk.
That's a tertiary favorite.
No, it's actually moved up in the rankings. If you go out and check our YouTube rankings, you can see that this has actually moved ahead where they break it down by segment. So Chalk Talk currently leading the polls, and probably that's due to the fact that we finally got on the board in our last TWITS. I'll have to also have an aside here, Mike. We meant to have a TWITS out on the airwaves last week, but due to some technical difficulties, that didn't happen. It's the episode that never was. Although I'm pretty sure it was a banner episode.
It would have been.
We actually recorded it, sort of. We actually did it anyway. And at some point, well, we recorded some portion of it, but when we got to the end, we realized that we had no actual footage. So that makes it difficult to edit and put out there. Chalk Talk now 1-2 with the Seattle rebound over Washington 2 weeks ago. Mike, this week we're gonna stay partially in the NFC. We're gonna take the Chicago Bears over the AFC Miami Dolphins. They are laying 3 points at home. Bears rebounded better than I thought they would last week against Atlanta, and after the Packers took it to the woodshed with the Dolphins down in the heat. Miami, between the heat and the travel, Mike, they won't be ready for Chicago. So I'm going to take the Bears to cover the 3 points at Soldier Field. My dog of the week. The last time we were on the airwaves, you had Cleveland +2, and you got that as an outright winner by a point, I believe, 29-28.
And as long as you weren't watching the game, you weren't sweating it.
That's right. 2-1 is your record on the year. What do you have for us in week number 7 here?
Sondo, your dog of the week. I'm sticking with the NFC North as well. I'm taking Carolina's getting 7 at Green Bay. You just mentioned Green Bay went down to Miami and did win. However, most of their wins have been pretty tight. And I don't think that with the decimation of the defensive backfield and also the questionable nature of the middle linebacking crew for the Green Bay Packers, it's going to be a tough road to hoe. And I think that 7 points will definitely put Carolina over the top. They may not win, but they won't need to. They won't need to win if we get 7. So that is your dog of the week.
Are you crazy, Mike? You can ask sponsor. There's nothing wrong with the middle of the Packers linebacking core. Brad Jones has that thing anchored. He's had it anchored for years, and it'll be anchored for years by Brad Jones.
With that contract, yes.
Yeah. Just as an aside, Mike, give me updates for the TWITS viewers on the 2 Packers starting cornerbacks. Have you heard anything?
I have not. They just they say it won't be long term, but they haven't said anything else, so we have no idea at this point.
Call him the best color man in TWITS for nothing. All right, my game of the week. We, last week, the commish pulled ahead with the New England victory over Cincinnati 2 weeks ago to move the commish to 2-1. Mike, you're 1-2. This week, we're looking at an AFC West tilt. The Chefs visit the Chargers in San Diego. Who do you like in this one?
Yeah, it's a old division matchup, and San Diego is flying high. They're at home. They've been building for this for the last couple of years so they can win this division, and I think I will take the home team in this one. San Diego probably by 2 touchdowns.
Not so fast, my friend. The Kansas City Chiefs. This is the week that Jamal Charles, for Jamal Charles owners outside of one little blip, had a pretty miserable year between injury and just underperformance. This is the year. This is the week he breaks out. I know Kansas City's banged up on defense. Everything's going right for San Diego at this point. But you watch, and you listen, and you just like Hans and Franz, you take note when the Chefs roll into to S-Town there and get the victory. I'm going to say the Chiefs. I'm not going to be quite as bold on your point spread, but I will say the Chiefs by a touchdown in San Diego.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. All right, folks. There you have the Week 7 edition of TWITS. Be sure to check out this episode or any past episodes on your YouTube channel, and then we'll see everyone back here for the Week 8 edition of TWITS next week. Adios.
Adios.